Hello everyone and welcome to Passion Talk, an inspirational and immersive series of talks by the Times of India and Times Passion Train. Magic Moments Verve music series presents Tales Behind Cocktails. This series is a specially curated series of masterclasses by our experts talking about their skills, the craft, the inspiration and the passion behind it. Our experts have specially curated mixology masterclasses to bring unique pearls of wisdom only they bring to the world. So let's enjoy these mixology magic moments narrated to us with the verve that only these legends can. Our guest today is one of India's leading young entrepreneurs, credited with building award-winning hospitality brands. Ashish Dev Kapur has created a chain of 51 restaurants across India with iconic brands like WhiskySamba, the Kimono Club, the Wine Company, the Wine Rack, Antares Restaurant and Beach Club in Goa, Dim Sum Bros and Yo China. For his achievements, Ashish has been recognized by leading industry bodies and economic and lifestyle publications, with multiple awards to his name and each brand being recognized as the best in its category. Ashish is an inspirational young achiever. He has been widely credited for growing the wine culture in India and collaborating with international talent. His YouTube channel, Vino Tribe, is already an online sensation. Recently, in the fight against COVID-19, Ashish, along with Niti Aayog and the Embassy of Israel, launched in India the gold standard CPD Elco-Sterile, an Israeli nanotechnology-based spray that provides 12 hours continuous disinfection technology. Your life journey indeed is full of magic moments, Ashish Kapur. Let's start from the start though. An engineering degree from Canada, working across North America in equity, and then going on to set iconic bar brands. Take us through that journey. How did that happen?
Listen, you got to be a little crazy and you have to have a lot of magic in, all of us have a little magic in us. You just have to believe that that magic is possible and just summon the universe to conspire to make it happen. And that's exactly what I did. About 23 years back, in a moment of madness, decided to leave my North American immigration, my job, corporate job, and move to India to try my hand at becoming a restaurateur. And since then, in the last 20 odd years, we've opened great brands, and it's really been a great fun journey. You know, making sure that people smile when they come in, and trying different ways to excite people every so often.
And one must say, all along you've kept the verve alive. It started with family eating brand, and then coming to these high energy spaces. How did that evolution keep happening?
I think, you know, India is highly aspirational, and we could see that with 60% of India being young, they wanted spaces that were world class. You know, and today our taste buds, our palates, we've traveled all over the world, so why can't we have destinations that are really world class? And that's what these spaces, WhiskySamba's, wine companies, Kimono, Antares in Goa are all about. It's about giving you that 60-minute holiday. And a restaurant visit should be exactly that. You're pampered with food, you're pampered with service, great cocktails, and just overall a great 60-minute holiday.
A 60-minute holiday. One never heard of a restaurant concept being spoken like that.
I mean, that's what we truly believe. You know, we believe even the people that we have, we always hire people with smiles, because at the end of the day, it's the energy that you're passing on. You know, Einstein said energy cannot be created or destroyed, it's got to be transferred. And that's what we want to do with the diners who come to the restaurants and bars we operate. We just want to transfer great energy from the space, from the people that serve them, and just leave them a lot more satiated in the soul before they came into our restaurants and bars.
Each restaurant of yours today has its own vibe. It's unique in the way it makes you feel. You are one of the pioneers of introducing a lot of concepts, beverage concepts in the country. Which comes closest to your heart?
You have to flirt with a lot of concepts before you romance one or maybe all, but I think it's all about the occasion and the time of day that you're in, you know. So my sunset restaurant, which is Antares, is all about the most beautiful sunsets by the sea. WhiskySamba is about really the whiskey journey and making sure that we can celebrate different kinds of whiskeys that we all know about and try new ones. Wine is completely different. You know, in India, wine has to be approachable. You have to break down the barriers from people touching a bottle, ordering a difficult French wine list. So that concept is around that. And cocktails, you know, cocktails are really close to my heart because that's where the flair and the art. The rest of spirits come out from just the bottle, which is great, but also cocktails, you have the human element where you have great bartenders coming and making a cocktail which is very individual. So I think cocktail bars and all these restaurants also have great cocktail programs. So it's really not one favorite restaurant or concept. I think it's about really putting it all together and being suitable for a particular occasion.
Lovely. And as the series of ours is Magic Moments Verve music CDs present tales behind cocktails, we would like to know which is your favorite cocktail, what is the tale behind it, and which one are you going to do for us, right?
Cocktails are all about stories. That's one of the beautiful things about spirits. And two of the cocktails that we'll do today both have beautiful stories around them. The first one is an espresso martini. And the espresso martini has this, it's essentially Magic Moments Verve and great espresso. And the story behind it is very inspiring because there was an aspiring supermodel that went up to an iconic bartender and he said, listen, I really want a cocktail. And he makes this brilliant cocktail called the Espresso Martini, which is essentially a celebration of far from where you once were, but still not where you want to be. And that's what the two ingredients really talk about, celebrating your path, but you're still far from where you really want to be. And getting that passion going. So this cocktail's about that. And the second one is more celebratory, easy drinking. It's a cosmopolitan. It's been made famous or iconic from the movie Sex and the City. And this is all about celebrating, summers, travel, those moments by the sea that we all miss right now. And essentially, again, this cocktail is a cocktail that you can start the evening with, end the evening with, wake up the next morning and maybe even drink for breakfast. So both are great cocktails.
Let's see Ashish Kapur do a espresso martini for us.
Done. 60 ml of Magic Moments Verve.
This is what the supermodel asked.
It's a supermodel drink for a supermodel friend that I have right here. I think this is your kind of drink, Amin, because this is a celebration of everyone's life. You know, we've all struggled to reach a certain place and we all have dreams to reach further. And that's what this drink really is all about. You know, coffee and great Magic Moments Verve. Take a pause, enjoy this, celebrate where you've come to, but have the dream to move further. And it is for supermodels like you. Cheers.
Cheers. So this was one interesting tale behind a cocktail you've told us, but yours been a long journey of romance with cocktails. What are some of the most memorable ones that you came across? Really interesting stories that stayed with you, stay with you, inspire you every day?
It's a great question, and really what inspires me around the whole cocktail piece is the travel and meeting fabulous bartenders whose stories inspire me. And whose creations inspire me, whose just flavors giving you completely different. I call them, some of these flavors we call Zorro's masks, because you have no idea where they'll, what's behind the drink. And I think this discovery is so fabulous. And we're fortunate to have a great team of bartenders who surprise us every so often, but it's really the travel and travel sometimes that you miss even. This year is all about missing out on those beach holidays or travel to Europe or wherever, even parts of India. And I think it's about using those ingredients and making sure those memories can come back through those drinks. And that's what a great cocktail is about.
And we miss that as well. Really look forward to the travel season to restart, to be able to step out, enjoy amazing drinks. Any drink, any cocktail that immediately puts you in a state of mind of travel? You think of that and you're like, here I'm off.
Yeah. So one of my favorite cocktails that I love experimenting with when I travel is an old-fashioned. You know, I love whiskey, and I've had just in this quaint little street in Mykonos, I had a really nice coffee walnut old-fashioned. In some other parts, I've had a beer old-fashioned, you know, made with just hops. So I think this was in Scotland, where we had an IPA old-fashioned. So I think it's old-fashioned for me is all about giving me those travel memories, and then those beach holidays, it's all about gin. You know, making sure that I can get those really nice, fruity, citrusy, fresh, cutting-edge cocktails.
And if you were to make one for yourself, if you were to ask you for one cocktail to be made right now, which immediately transports you to a beach destination?
The only cocktail that would transport me right now would be anything with champagne. So a mimosa works perfectly well, because you finally hit the beach, you have something to celebrate for, there's great champagne, and fabulous mimosa does the trick.
And which cocktail right now would be just magical?
The magical cocktail for the moment would be the Cosmo.
And what's the feel behind the Cosmo cocktail?
Cosmo was made iconic by the movie Sex and the City, and it's really about friendship. It's about these three girls celebrating their life, and they would meet in the movie over jugs of Cosmos. And the great thing about a Cosmo is it's so fresh and versatile, right? So the original recipe has cranberry juice, but if you're traveling somewhere and say you're in Tuscany and off for an Italian summer holiday and there are great oranges, you can substitute the cranberry for fresh Tuscan oranges. Similarly, you can take any citrusy fruit and you can just play around with the cocktail to make you more in tune with local flavors and give you that essence. So that's what a great Cosmo is.
So let's have Ashish Kapur prepare a great Cosmo for us.
Done. So we take Magic Moments Verve. Cheers, buddy.
Thank you. First an espresso martini, now a Cosmo. That is magical about being in Ashish's company.
Like any good bartender, we don't count the drinks. It's always the first and the last, so you'll only have 2 drinks.
This drink had a certain spin of yours. It had your touch. What's your take on innovations coming in the world of cocktail making, bartenders trying new skills, toying with the idea of changing classics completely? How do you look at that?
I think that's what makes cocktails and food so exciting. And I'm loving this movement. I'm loving bartenders trying to get the kitchen out into the bar, because there's freshness, there's surprise. You know, we have a bartender, Akhilesh, who's fabulous, and we all know in India we've heard of Khas, and how Khas is typically a mocktail and on the sweeter side. Well, I had a completely dry cocktail with Khas. And I think it's all about these surprises and freshness of ingredients that bartenders are bringing to the scene, and it is just blowing me away. It's super exciting, and I can't wait for this movement to grow even further, so I'm all for it.
One of the most remarkable things about your place is equal importance to a drinks and a food menu, which is something that one sees, notices now. Tell us about the importance of food and drinks in totality, and which food will go best with these 2 cocktails that you suggested.
When you're a serious restaurateur, you want longevity. And you cannot get longevity without a balance of great food and great drinks. And the drinks program is about spirits, it's about cocktails, it's about straights, it's about everything. And similarly with the food. So I think that balance is the most important, because we're striving to create that 60-minute vacation. You And as far as the second part of your question, in my view, food should be as approachable and drinks should be as approachable, so there's really no question of what goes best, simply because each one's taste buds are different. And hey, let's not make drinks so complicated. We've had a tough year and we've all lived through that tough year, so just enjoy whatever food you have with great cocktails and you'll be fine.
And the music is there on your mind? Of course, we have Magic Moment music CDs, but what music is perfect?
Without doubt, you know, with a name like WhiskySamba, all you need is a little bit of samba, you need some nice Latin music, some great beach cocktails, and you're fine.
Now starts the festive season, now starts the time when we go out following all precautions and yet celebrate, not give up on celebrations. So what are your thoughts on that?
We've all lived through the challenge of the century. And I think it's now time to move on. And like you rightly said, take the precautions, but at the same time, we can't stop living. And let's be careful. Let's go out, let's celebrate the great bartenders, the great chefs that made our lives, our occasions are memorable. And let's support them. Let's go out, go to their places, and just be happy to be back in a social company with abundant precaution and safety in place.
Thank you so much, Ashish, for taking time out and taking us on this heady journey, which is full of magic moments and full of Verve over the last 2 decades. Thank you so much for talking to us at Passion Talk.
Thank you, my friend.
I hope you enjoyed in this episode where restaurateur Ashish Kapoor took us on a memorable ride and also told us about the cocktail scene in the country. Our series, Magic Moments, Verve Music CDs present Tales Behind Cocktails continues. Keep watching. We have such amazing talent doing exclusive masterclasses for us. Thank you.
Are you from here?
Just visiting. It's my last night actually.
That's so many moments.
एक रात में पूरी जिंदगी जी सकते हैं.
Try करते हैं.
हर पल जीले तू अभी हर लम्हा है जिंदगी.
Magic in your eyes, there's magic in the air.
तो कैसी रही जिंदगी?
Every moment was magic.